these rumors are true, what does this say? Is it more about what the Dolphins think of Tua Tagovailoa or Deshaun Watson?
If the rumors are true, at this point, it's about Tua. Now, let me explain. Originally, I was as loud as anyone, and as soon as it was like Deshaun Watson wants to be traded, Miami. Miami makes the most sense for Deshaun. Why? Well, usually, like Deshaun wanted to win, right? Usually a team that trades for a guy like Deshaun is giving up so much that can't be very good in the future. But Miami's young, talented, and they have extra draft picks through shrewd GMing, really. Not because they stunk, but because they made deals, right? So there's a warm weather destination, a team with a national following, in fact, going back to, the perfect season, and then Dan Marino and everything, who's really good. No-name defense, but they can play. They bring in Jalen Waddle. I mean, that dude can turn 5-yard pass and take it to the house. And they have an excellent coach. Remember when, not long ago, we were asking, is this the worst team in NFL history? They looked like they quit on Brian Flores early in the season, and he turned it around. That season, that's a coach. And the whole league is really, you want to boil it down, coach and quarterback. You got a coach and you got a quarterback, you're all right. So I looked at Deshaun and thought, oh, my God, that fit in Miami. He's a superstar quarterback, a team that's ready to win. He can take them over the top, right? Plus, you could trade Tua, who may turn out to be a good NFL quarterback, and some draft picks because you have a lot of draft capital. Make it happen. At this point, though, the off-field problems that Deshaun Watson has, when you say massage therapists, plural,
yes.
We're not talking about 2 or 3. Last I count is over 20.
Mm-hmm.
Over 20.
That's right.
So unless there's some massive conspiracy, something's, this is not good. And so at this point, if the rumors are true that they're engaged in a trade talking about multiple first-round picks, at that point, to me, it becomes about Tua. Because why would you be that desperate for a distressed asset, still overpaying for it, if you believed in your guy? That tells me you see a possibility with Deshaun Watson, and you're willing to deal with the Texans as though he's not a distressed asset because that's how bad you want him. That tells me they don't believe in their guy.
Yeah, this is about Deshaun Watson. All right, so I love chicken parm. I love chicken parm. If I could pick one food to eat for the rest of my life, it's chicken parm. It's the best dish to ever come out of Italy. Don't tell me it's not from Italy, okay, everybody? So
yeah, if you're not Italian.
It's from Italy. So it's a great Italian dish, chicken parm. But you know what I love to do with my chicken parm? Instead of putting red sauce, marinara sauce on it, I put vodka sauce on it. And then I put them, because it takes it to the next level. And Tua's chicken parm, Deshaun's chicken parm with my vodka sauce on it. It just goes to the next level. I love Tua. I'm a big supporter of Tua. I've had Tua's back over the last year. I think he's going to be a really, really, really good pro. Deshaun Watson is a known commodity. I'm not touching the off-the-field conversation. I'm just keeping this on the field. He's a known commodity. There are questions still attached to Tua Tagovailoa on the field. There is not about Deshaun Watson on the field. He is a top 5 player at that
if he can get
position.
on the field.
But he's a top – I'm not touching the off-field stuff. He's a top 5 player on the field. He is that
Yeah, but the teams have to deal with that, Dan. That's why – that
would probably be figured out before the deal goes through, I would imagine.
I agree. Your information better be correct if you're going to do it. That's all I've said about it. You better be right. But as far as comparing the players, there is stuff that Deshaun Watson does that only a handful of quarterbacks in the NFL can do. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers type stuff. As far as a physical talent and the ability to just go be a playmaker, he is special and he is rare. And he is a guy that you bona fide, once you get him on your football team, we can win a Super Bowl because of that guy. Not because we can win a Super Bowl with that guy, we can win a Super Bowl because of him. And I'm not there to jump that hoop to say that about Tua. I'm not there to say that there aren't questions attached to Tua, both performance and health-wise. Again, I love his game, and he's going to be very good. But Deshaun Watson is a known commodity. He is a question that's already been answered. He's an upgrade to the best dish ever, chicken parm. You put a little vodka sauce on it, that's Deshaun Watson. He is an upgrade.
I'll say for me, guys, I think it's both. It says a lot about Tua, and it says a lot about Deshaun Watson as well. When you look at Tua, right, he's not grasping things as quickly as they would like last year, right? When you look in the draft and you look at a guy that they could have drafted, Justin Herbert, in that spot as well. I know the Dolphins are kicking themselves. I know the fans are kicking themselves about that as well. But when you look at Tua Tagovailoa, I think everything is moving slower than the Miami Dolphins organization would like things to move, right? And you look at this football team entirely. You look at the overhaul. This is a Super Bowl caliber team. with a good quarterback, right? And they're just one quarterback away from, I'll say, winning the AFC East, being in contention to win a Super Bowl. Now, you look at Deshaun Watson, he's a guy who passed for over 4,800 yards last year, guys. 33 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. He completed 70% of his passes. I have Deshaun Watson as top 5 quarterback in the NFL right now.
If he's on the field.
If he's on the football
arguably,
field.
yep.
So if you trade for him, and I do believe, like, if you trade for Deshaun Watson, it has to – Houston can't rob Peter and pay Paul, right? It has to be some legal language in there. If this happens, if this goes on, then we get our picks back, or vice versa. You know what I mean? That has to be stipulations in the contracts. But I will say this. If the Miami Dolphins, and I put this on my Twitter, if the Miami Dolphins get Deshaun Watson, the AFC is going to be so crazy.
No doubt.
And the AFC East has just been shaken up. I am no longer picking the Bills to win the AFC East, because at that point, I don't know who's going to win the AFC East.
Look,
Deshaun
there's
Watson's on the
Mahomes
Dolphins.
and Rodgers and Brady, right? That's in a different category. If Watson's on the field, there's Watson, Allen, Herbert, and Russell Wilson probably. Like, that's the very next group. And Watson, good argument, he's leading that group.
Well, he was great last year on a bad team. So they basically just wasted a year down there in Houston. So, but Deshaun Watson, man, when you look at his play on the field, I'm just talking about on the field, Max, he is a top 5 quarterback in this league. He can not only do it with his legs, he can do it with his arms. And we heard what Dabo Swinney said. He's the Michael Jordan of football.
Won a national title, and the year before.
Whatever team you go to,
yeah,
they're going to be in contention.
He was the best player on the field when they lost the national title. Yeah. And then he won it with a miracle play after miracle play. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, Deshaun Watson can do a lot with bad teams. Even last season with a bad team, he's still at the 3rd best completion percentage, only behind Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees. So it says a lot about him.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.